Hey guys, what's going on? In today's video, I want to talk about 6 trends that are transforming marketing and digital marketing landscape in 2025 and also going into 2026. So we'll touch on these 6 trends right here that you see on the screen. And guys, you already know I'll be providing this PDF as a freebie, meaning that you can download this entire PDF for free and use it as a reference as we go. And to do that, I'm going to be attaching the link below the video. I believe in the description box, there's going to be a link to download this PDF for free, guys. Okay, so without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into today's video. So let's touch on the first thing right here. AI-powered marketing dominates decision making. Okay, so it sounds really fancy, but actually it's really basic. Essentially, what it means automation. Okay, it can be automation workflows, AI agentic systems, AI agents. Like they call them a bunch of fancy names, but at its core, it's essentially a automation. Okay, and what automation does essentially, it lets you optimize your marketing campaigns or automate them, right? Personalized content. If you want to, for example, reach out to 20 leads on LinkedIn on a daily basis from your account without actually going on each of the leads account and looking at the background and trying to like tailor the message for them. So AI can do it for you while you have your morning coffee or read a book or go to gym, right? And it's going to reach out to 20 people on LinkedIn on a daily basis on your behalf. And it's going to sound exactly like you with a bit of tweaking, of course. All right. So just a visual example, guys, if you want to kind of put an image to what I'm talking about. So here I have a NA10. Okay, so I'm sure you guys heard company name NA10, making a lot of waves in automation niche, AI agentic niche, right? So what it does, it essentially lets you automate a lot of things. Majority of the things that we're doing on a daily basis, like literally 90% of things. So here is a very simple example. We have a automation infused with AI. We're using OpenAI to analyze image and to generate image. So what it does essentially, it's pulling a example image from this spreadsheet right here, which is basically a Nike t-shirt. And then we're feeding that to a automation with a bit of a prompting. Okay, I'm not gonna go into details too much. And then it's gonna generate a fully edited and professionally done AI image based on that t-shirt with a model. Okay, so just imagine, guys, if you are a Shopify brand or DTC brand, or if a client who doesn't have a budget to, for example, hire models, photographers, and do a bunch of editing, right? So you can offer this as a service to build something like this. So you can literally generate 50, 60, 100 images like this in span of 10 minutes, okay? And it looks as professional and as clean as you would do it with a photographer. Obviously, you need a bit of tweaking. There are ways to make the picture look less AI-ish. But again, guys, I'm not going to dive into technicalities and stuff like that. But yeah, this is called NA10 and automations. All right, number 2, short form video captivates audience attention. Okay, so it's pretty simple. We have shifted from a lot of long form videos. Well, I don't want to say we shifted, right? Because long form videos are still happening, but again, it's a different stage of the funnel of people, right? So long form is usually educational or people who want to learn new things, right? That's more YouTube stuff. But for most of the brands, we're talking about shorts, okay? TikTok, Reels, right? So that's kind of format that is building the audience and also the future customers, okay? So it performs good because usually it's very fast paced and you get to offer or sell the product or the idea, whatever you're pitching, in 15 to 30 seconds, okay? This is all because of the very short attention span that consumers have, and also because this style of video is done in a very, very raw format, okay? Again, we'll touch about that in a bit when we're gonna talk about brand created content, okay? I will touch a bit more about content style and how that is reshaping the landscape. But again, let's go back to this topic right here, right? So majority of business and service providers or SaaS service as a business, for example, software as a business, guys, for example, everybody is using TikTok and Reels, okay? Because that has become the primary channel for brands to engage with consumers, especially younger generations, guys, okay? So if you're somebody who's just starting off in even DTC or micro SaaS, if you're building like a software business on your side, right? Or really just working for a brand that wants to drive engagement and obviously sales later on, then definitely TikTok and Reels is something that you want to be putting your core focus on, okay? That's kind of the idea. Okay, the number 3, it's a bit of a mouthful. So first party data collection takes a center stage, okay? So what does that mean if you're a beginner? In a sense, brands are focusing on building their own customer data, okay? Or repositories, or whatever you guys want to call. But again, if we're talking about like simple terms on a beginner level, essentially businesses and brands are focusing on building their own audiences. Okay, so as a business, you want to own your audience, and one of the best ways to do it today is using email marketing. Okay, so a lot of people are saying email marketing is dying and it's like it's done. It's actually not. I worked with a lot of brands. I've worked with 8 and 9 figure DTC brands, and huge amount of revenue is coming from their email marketing campaigns, right? And that is because they own the audience. Okay, they don't have to pay Google ads or Meta ads to acquire new customers. Okay, because essentially when you're running ads, all you're doing, you are paying a cost for acquiring the customer or cost per acquisition. Okay, different ways to call it, but essentially paying to acquire the customer, and then hopefully, let's say 100 out of 1 out of 100 customers that comes from the paid ads will convert. Okay, so but when you build your email marketing list, and let's say you have like 10,000 customers in your email marketing list, you own that data, right? Because your ad accounts, Google ads, Meta ads, that can be banned, especially if you are somebody who's running a lot of dropshipping business, right? So if you've done that, I'm sure you've been on that side where your Meta ads account gets banned, and then essentially you are left out without ads. So if you want to avoid that in general, right, you can even have your ad account banned even as a big brand. Sometimes you get banned for absolutely no reason, right? It can happen. So if you want to potentially mitigate that in a sense, you want to focus on building your email marketing list, okay, as you go. Even if you're just starting off, make sure you start off with building your email marketing list. That applies to content creators. If you're a content creator, make sure you start early, start building your email marketing list. Nurture your leads. It's really important, meaning that create weekly newsletters, engage with your audience, right? So these are really the core things that you want to do to make sure your audience is engaged, because if they're not, they're going to drop off and they're going to unsubscribe, okay? And you're going to lose them, okay? And for DTC brands, very similar. You can maybe offer, let's say, 10-15% discount to your existing email marketing campaign users, right? In a sense, like people who are in your email marketing list, just send them like an occasional 20% off, or just say, hey, we're like launching a new product. Here's like a 20% off on this new product because you are a ex-customer, right? So a lot of different ways, but essentially the whole point here is you want to own the data, you want to own the customer data, and one of the best ways to do that is by using email marketing, all right? Okay, so let's jump into some more stuff here. Some more fun stuff I want to say. So brand created content outperforms paid ads. Okay, so what does that mean? So authentic ads and relevant ads drive higher engagement as consumers favor organic brand-owned content over traditional advertising. Okay, so in simple terms, consumers are favoring raw content and authentic content over content that is overproduced and over edited. Okay, because when you see that on your Meta feed or Instagram feed or TikTok feed, you're gonna skip it immediately because you know, okay, so these guys are trying to sell me something on the spot. Okay, that's not how you want to come across as a brand, right? You want to come across as a very authentic person or brand that genuinely wants to solve your pain points. Okay, so you want to talk to your audience like you'll be talking to your friend literally, while still offering or pitching the product, right? So it's kind of hard to explain. I think it's gonna be easier if I guys show you a really, really good example. So I'm gonna be using ClickUp as an example. Again, guys, I'm not affiliated or anything like that. No partnerships, guys. I genuinely love the content, what the content that ClickUp does, right? Because they managed to make project management software that is probably one of the most boring things ever. They managed to make it really cool, and even younger generations love ClickUp just because of the way they market and they push their products, right? So I'll just show you one of the examples that got like 20 million views. So essentially the style of ClickUp content is they are making fun of corporate politics. Okay, so everybody, well, majority of people are working in office jobs, which is corporate jobs, right? So even if you're remote, it's still technically corporate, you're doing 9 to 5. So you will relate with this because these are very common things that happen in a corporate culture or corporate politics. And they essentially make fun out of it while in the background promoting their ClickUp platform. Okay, guys, it's a genius way. It really works. Like they're enormous, they're huge. They have like almost 500,000 followers, and a lot of videos have like over 1 million views. and people engage with that. They love that, guys. Just look at the engagement, look at the likes. It's absolutely insane. So that's what I mean. This is raw and this is authentic. You are not pushing the product or the service down people's throat. Okay, so that's kind of the key in 2025 and 2026 and going forward. Okay, nobody wants to see those over edited and like super professional ads. Okay, unless you are a luxury brand, that's a different story. But again, we'll not dive into that today. All right, AI powered ad targeting boosts marketing ROI, or if you guys don't know what that is, return on investment. Okay, you can hear that a lot if you are just somebody who's starting off in marketing, or you've been doing marketing maybe on an entry level. So ROI, that is basically return on investment. Okay, so what does that mean? Advanced algorithms enable hyper personalized ad targeting. Okay, so I'm just gonna kind of cut it off here. Basically, this part right here is talking about AI powered advertising. Okay, so we're talking about Google ads, or specifically Performance Max, because Performance Max are essentially AI powered in a sense that it's not using search keywords like traditional search campaigns are, right? So we are using search teams. We are using your personal data, which can be either your customer data, like emails, phone numbers, names, right? You can upload that to a Google Ads as long as you have the consent to do that, okay? And then you can also connect your Shopify data, remarketing data, which essentially Shopify store. Okay, people visit your homepage, people visited XYZ page, right? People who added something to cart. So that is your data, and you can feed that to Google Ads, and it's going to retarget those people, right? And you can target them with different messaging, different ad copies, different visuals based on where they are, at which stage of the funnel they are in the customer journey, okay, in a sense. And the same thing is happening on the Meta side or Facebook ad side, guys. If you're coming from a older generation like I am. So what's happening here, we are shifting away from building these massive campaigns where classic Facebook ad structure would be you have a campaign and then you have, let's say, 4 ad sets, and then these 4 ad sets have, let's say, 5 ads beneath them, okay? That was kind of the classic structure. And then you would basically target your ad sets with interests or people who have specific jobs, specific age groups, right? So now that kind of has shifted over, similar like Google Ads with Performance Max, for example. So right now, all you really need to have is one campaign, one ad set, bunch of creatives, okay? I'm talking about like easily 20, 30 creatives, okay? Broad targeting, meaning that you are not narrowing it down in a sense. You're not like putting like people interested in, I don't know, in sports supplements, or people interested in pet accessories, or people who like to work out, right? So you don't narrow that anymore. Okay, you simply leave all those options on broad, meaning you don't select any, and literally just launch your campaign with like 30 ads under your single ad set. Put a decent budget, and that's it. You are good to go. Okay, because what's going to work, AI will look at the images that are in the ad set. Okay, it's going to look at all of those copies, descriptions, like site links, right? Call to actions, and it's going to basically decide which ad is the best one to show based on the customers using AI engine. Okay, so essentially that's what it is, and they call it Andromeda. Essentially one of the most powerful AI engine for ad targeting. Okay, you guys can read about it. Just go ahead and Google Meta Ads Andromeda, and you'll kind of see exactly what I'm sharing here on the screen, guys. Okay. Okay, guys, and we made it to the last one. So social search surpasses Google for Gen Z. Okay, so what does that mean? Younger consumers increasingly turn to social media platforms like TikTok and Instagram. Okay, so again, in simple terms, what this means that the younger generation is using TikTok as search engine. Okay, so for example, if I want to go and look for something, like maybe I want to find a new creatine or whey protein for my workouts, right? I'm gonna go to Google and I'm gonna search for it, okay? Or I might also go to ChatGPT, but most of the time I'm gonna go on Google and I'm gonna type something like best clean workout supplement to gain muscle mass, whatever, something like that, right? Or best clean creatine, right? So that would be my search term in Google. So younger generations are doing that essentially on TikTok, okay? They're just gonna go on TikTok and they're gonna do something like best best creatine, guys. Let me just type it in if I can correctly. And basically, they're gonna go based on these UGC content creators or influencers, right? And whichever they connect more with, okay, the one that they trust the most, that's the brand they're gonna buy from, okay? Essentially, literally, that's all it is, right? So we really are in a war of who is the best content creator and who can sell the product in the most authentic and genuine way, okay, for the brands in a sense, right? But again, it's a bit debatable if we look at the chart here. So Google search still is a very important pillar when it comes to finding products for younger generation as well, right? So obviously TikTok is dominating by it's dominating by roughly 1%. Google search is still at 61, and actually Instagram is kind of number one, okay, 67, okay, 67%. People use that for finding products or things that they want to find, right? But still, you can see that Google is very important pillar still to this date, even for younger generation between 18 and 24. Okay, guys, and that's essentially it. Before we wrap it up, let's summarize everything. So short form video, okay, this is how you want to do it. AI-powered marketing, use AI tools to optimize your campaigns, N8N, right, ChatGPT, Cloud, bunch of other things out there. Short form video, 15 to 60 seconds, I would even say 15 to 30 seconds, right? Again, TikTok, Reels, and that direction. Building trust through creators. If you're a bigger brand and if you have budget, definitely collaborate with an influencer, right? And some UGCs, because that will absolutely outperform any static or paid ad out there. People trust people. It's as simple as that. And leveraging first party data, make sure you start building your email marketing list, okay? So you can retarget those people and really nurture your email marketing list and reconvert them, because that's a huge amount of revenue that you're losing out if you're not doing it, okay? And AI optimized ads, essentially, as we talked about, Meta ads, Andromeda, and Google Ads Performance Max, okay? And social search for discovery. Make sure that you optimize content for platform specific trends, okay? So make sure you go on TikTok trends, Instagram trend, and see what's trending, because that's how you will get more views and more exposure for your brand or for the content that you're doing. Okay, guys, and there's a couple more slides that you can go over if you are interested. And again, it's going to be available in the description box below the video, guys. Just download the PDF and go over it. And if you have any questions, leave a comment. And guys, I'm going to help you out. Either you are a personal brand or you are DTC brand or even B2B, just leave a comment with questions you have around marketing and how you can apply that for your business or for a personal brand or for maybe company that you're working and you are maybe in marketing. Okay, leave a comment and I'm gonna help you guys out with any questions you might have. And as always, I'm gonna say thank you for watching this video. I hope you found it helpful and learned something. And as always, I'm gonna see you next time.